before we get into the model we trained and seeing if it's fair or not, I would first like to ask, what is your definition of fairness? You can put it in the chat. Our definition was a model is fair if the rate at which it wrongly predicts that a defendant will recidivate is roughly equal across race. And we also use the U.S. Equal Employment and Opportunity Commission to be more specific. If any group is misidentified at a rate more than 5/4 that of the least preferentially selected group, there is strong evidence of bias. Okay, so now that we have that definition, let's see if the model we trained is fair or not. We ran a series of tests. First, as Leo said, we looked at the frequencies, which is the number of times each race appeared in the testing data. They came to about these numbers. For African American, it was 665, Caucasian 455, Hispanic 118, other 71, Asian 6, and natives 5. Clearly, the testing data was too uneven. In order to have accuracy, you need a bigger sample, so only African Americans and Caucasians had a more accurate thing and could be used as like actual evidence. So then we took those two most common races, African American and Caucasian, and we found their false positive accuracy rates. And false positive is basically when it predicts that they will recidivate even though they do not. And so that was 0.68 and 0.67. So the African American false positive accuracy rates was actually better, or the African American rates, like accuracy rates, were better in general. Next slide, please. So then we use confusion matrices and right bottom to show that it accurately predicted it, but clearly it's false. So for the African American chart, it has more blue in general in the y-axis on the lower side. So either if it was predicted as 0 or 1, there was more in 1 as true label in general, which means that they just had more people in the training data that were African American who actually did recidivate. And then on the Caucasian side, the whole right side was white, which means they just generally predicted that white people would not recidivate.